Welcome to week 2. In this week's lessons, we will introduce the basics of research for an academic essay. We will define a few terms and we will also talk about some acceptable internet sources that you can use for your writing and some unacceptable ones. So, let's start. First of all, we need to define the difference between a fact and an opinion. An opinion is your personal, subjective view of the topic. An opinion which is supported by credible evidence is called a fact. Opinions are very highly valued in academic writing. It is important to have a clear opinion, but it is equally important to provide adequate support so that you are able to turn your opinion into a fact. Examples of opinions in academic writing would look something like that. For example, eating vegetables can have a lot of health benefits, or people spend too much time on the smartphones is another opinion. Or you can say something like driving a motorbike is more convenient than driving a car in Phnom Penh. Opinions are the starting point of an academic essay. However, they are not enough and they have a few problems. So, what is the problem with opinions? Everybody has opinions about a lot of things. Opinions are usually formed by experience, by observation, and they are also combined with popular ideas and news in the social media. However, are their opinions always true and accurate? We need to prove that. In order to be able to present and support an opinion in academic writing, it has to be backed with clear evidence. An opinion without evidence is good for casual conversations, but it isn't acceptable in an academic writing. Evidence is any kind of credible resource online, but also offline, that helps you back your opinions with facts. The process of providing evidence to support an opinion is what we call research. Note here that not all types of resources can be used as evidence in academic writing. So, what kind of resources are not acceptable to support opinions? Let's look at some examples. Your friends, family, and any kind of information you pick up in your daily life are not suitable facts. For example, you may believe that dogs make better pets than cats because your family always had dogs and your parents believe that dogs are more fun. This is an opinion, but it's not a credible fact. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Nothing, and I note this, nothing that appears on these sites is considered as credible evidence. It doesn't matter how truthful it sounds. Another source is Wikipedia. Although Wikipedia is great to help you clarify terms and topics, the information is not credible because they don't have an author, and Wikipedia is an open source website. Personal experiences and examples, unless supported by an acceptable source, are also not credible. What kind of sources are acceptable support for opinions then? Let's look at them. First is internet articles with an author. As we discussed in the previous lesson, articles without an author do not provide reliable facts, as they could have been written by anyone, basically. Another reason that makes them unusable is that, as we will see in our next lesson, they can't be cited or referenced. We're going to talk about this in our next lesson. Always make sure that the name of the author appears either at the top or the bottom of the page. In order to take your research to the next level, it's also good advice to additionally look up information about the author of the article so that you know where he's coming from and if his opinions are valid and credible. Another credible source of information is statistics. Statistics are a very good way to present effects of an issue on the population and make the reader, let's say, understand your point without having to write a lot of words. They save time and space and leave a very lasting impression on the reader. So it's very good, solid support for your opinions. You have to remember though here, not all statistics you see are valid and true. If you find a statistic that you want to use in your writing, you always have to check the source. The article has to mention the study they appear and the name of the author of the study. It's very important. Another credible source you can use for your academic writing is academic studies and articles. This is the best source, and its pros are that they are the most reliable source of information, and it will lead you to these higher grades. A drawback is that very often they are hard to read and understand. Textbooks is also a very good source. They are reliable. And the same applies to dictionaries, which are very good for researching and presenting definitions whenever necessary. You can also use official web pages directly related to your topic. What do we mean by official web pages? Official web pages are websites of official organizations like governments, hospitals, universities, or social services. And another very good source is books related to your topic. Books are reliable and detailed. However, due to their volume and the number of pages, it can be hard to locate all the information.